Today we will cover ISTQB syllabus, overview of all the chapters and how we can clear the exam. So for downloading the ISTQB syllabus, you can launch bcs.org website. In that you can go on, click on this get qualified and click on certifications for professionals. In the list, look for the software testing and access the software testing section. In there are quite a few exams they provide and there are syllabuses you will get. So as I'm going to cover an ISTQB certified tester foundation level, click on certified foundation tester level. It will take you to the page where you can get more information about the exam, information about the training and how you can prepare for the exam. What will I learn? In this section you will find a link, download the latest syllabus. Click on and it will start downloading and it will launch the PDF. This PDF document is the syllabus. So click on download. So when you click on download, this ISTQB syllabus will be there in your default download folder or where you have downloaded. So today I will give you overview of all the 6 chapters you are going to study during the syllabus. So there are 6 chapters. One is fundamentals of testing. Second chapter is testing through the life cycles. Third, test design techniques, static techniques. Fifth chapter is test management and the 6th chapter is tool support for testing. So in fundamentals of testing, we will discuss what is testing, why testing necessary, and what impact it has on the different organizations. We will also discuss the 7 testing principles we have to follow while testing any application or software. Like testing shows the presence of defects, exhaustive testing is impossible, early testing, defect clustering, beware of pesticide paradox, testing is context dependent, absence of errors is a fallacy. We will also discuss fundamentals test process we come across in any testing project. Test planning, second is monitoring and control, test analysis and design, test implementation, test execution, test completion. So during our testing life cycle, STLC, software testing life cycle, we have some phases. So these fundamentals process covers these phases. What are the actions you are performing during these phases? In planning, you are going to plan how testing you will do and what are the activities you are going to perform. In the next chapter, the first chapter also covers the psychology of testing. As a tester, you need to be curious, professional pessimism, a critical eye, attention to detail, and you should be a good communicator. In the second chapter, we will discuss or we will go through testing through the life cycle. So in our testing process, we have to follow the processes and based on that we have different life cycles. As for example, V model, waterfall model, agile models, because there are quite a few models in agile models. So if you go through the waterfall model, you can see the waterfall, water comes from one side and it falls. In the same manner, the whole software is developed first and in the end you will test the software. In V model, based on the development activity, we have a parallel testing activities. So as for example, component specification, we have a component testing. Design specification, we have component integration testing. System specification, we have system testing. Interface specification, we have system integration testing. For business requirements, we have acceptance testing. In agile incremental models, we have Scrum models, Kanban model, RUP model, and spiral models. They are part of iterative incremental models. In these all models, overall what happens? The whole project is divided into small iterations, and based on the requirements selected for the particular iterations, we do testing until that particular part of the product is ready and can be used by the end users. We will also cover in these chapters what types of testings we have, like functional testing, non-functional testing, and the impact on its on testing approach. The third chapter, in the third chapter, we are going to discuss test design techniques. So one of the testing principles we have is exhaustive testing is impossible. Yeah, we can't do complete testing on any project. If we go all the scenarios, if we calculate all the combinations of testing we need to do, it becomes impossible. We won't be able to completely test any software, and because of that, if we cannot test the software completely, that's what we need to do so that we can cover all the scenarios. So based on that, we have certain test design techniques developed. So we will discuss all the test design techniques in this chapter: black box testing, white box testing, and experience based techniques. So in black box we have, so in this we will not have access to the software, internal structure of the software, and based on our requirements we will design our test cases. So in black box black box technique, we have equivalence partitioning, boundary value analysis, state transition testing, decision table testing. So based on our requirement, we use one of the techniques to design our test cases, and we carry on the execution, and it will help us to find defects. In white box testing, we have this is also known as structure based techniques. In this we will cover statement testing and decision testing. So if we have the knowledge of the internal structure or code, based on that we will design what are the executable statements we have and how we are going to test those executable statements. And based on the internal structure code, we can make the decisions based on the code, what are the decisions we are going to make, and based on that we will design our test cases and execute and carry on our testing activities. In chapter 4, we will talk about static techniques. So one of the testing principles testing starts as early as the development or the draft document is ready. So early testing is the testing principles. So as soon as you have the draft document ready, we will start testing. So what happens in the draft document ready? So we do the testing activity, reviewing the document, reviewing the code. This is known as static testing. Static testing is testing the documents. In static techniques, we have static testing and static analysis. So static analysis is analyzing the code by tool. So before the code deployment or before the code is implemented into the test environment, we need to review how the code is written. Is there any defects there? That covers the static analysis. What if we have the requirement but the requirement is incorrect and we end up developing an incorrect software which the end users cannot use it. It is of no use for them. So we need to verify, are the requirements correct? So that review, we have to review and analyze the requirements. That is known as static testing. In the fourth chapter, we will cover static techniques. In the fifth chapter, we will cover test management. So test management is how we are going to manage the testing activities. As for example, we have planned everything correctly, but if we have not managed it properly, it is a chance, there is a high probability that our project will derail. We end up spending so much time, we end up spending so much money on the project. So we need to plan in a way that we finish our work in a certain amount of time or in a specific duration, and the product is a quality product. In the sixth chapter, we will cover tool support for testing. So whenever we carry on any testing activity, it is a science. So we have to use certain tools. So if we use those tools, it will help us, it will help to reduce our workload, it will ease our testing effort. So we can carry on our testing completely, confidently, and in the end we can verify that the product we have developed, built, is a quality product. So this is all 6 chapters, and how we can prepare for the exam we will discuss in the next class.